Welcome back to my podcast. I'm Ian McCormack. I continue my story. Chapter 3. The Endurance Test. Tiredness overwhelmed me as I stared up into the stars. I was just about to close my eyes and go to sleep when I heard a clear voice speak to me and say, "Ian, if you close your eyes, you shall never awake again." I looked around expecting to see a man standing there, but I saw no one. It startled me, and I shook off the sleepiness and thought, what am I doing? I can't go to sleep here. I need to get to a hospital. I need to get antitoxins, and I need to get help. If I go to sleep here, I may actually never wake up. So I tried to stand again. I was able to hobble slowly down the road, and I found a couple of taxis parked at a petrol station next to a restaurant. I limped over to the taxis and begged the drivers to take me to the hospital. The men in the cars looked at me and said, "How much money will you pay us?" So I said, "I haven't got any money," speaking out loud to myself. Then I realized what a foolish thing it was to admit to these men that I had no money. I could have lied, but I didn't. I just told the truth. I had no money. And the three drivers just laughed. "You're drunk. You're crazy." They turned around, lit their cigarettes, and started to walk off. The petrol station, where Ian begged for his life. Then I heard a clear voice again say, "Ian, are you willing to beg for your life?" I sure was. And I even knew how to do it. I had lived in South Africa long enough. I'd seen the black men cup their hands and bow their heads to the white men and say, "Yes'm, boss, yes'm, master." It was very easy for me to get down on my knees because my right leg was already paralyzed and my left leg was very wobbly. I was leaning up against the car, so I just slipped down onto my knees and cupped my hands. Lowering my head, I begged for my life. I was nearly crying. I knew that if I didn't get to the hospital soon, I wasn't going anywhere. If these guys didn't have compassion and love in their hearts for me and mercy towards me, I would have died right there in front of them. So I begged and pleaded with them for my life. With my head bent, I watched their feet. Two of them just walked away, but I could see one young man moving his feet in indecision. It seemed to go on for an unbearably long time, but then he came over and picked me up. He didn't speak, but he helped me up, put me in the car, and drove off. Halfway to the hospital, however, he changed his mind. He demanded, "What hotel you stay in, white man?" I replied that I didn't live in a hotel, but in a bungalow at Tamarin Bay. He thought I had lied to him and became angry, suspecting that he might not get any money from me after all. "How will I get my money?" he retorted. I answered, "I'll give you all the money I've got. When your life is at stake, money means nothing." I said, "I'll give you any money you want if you can get me to the hospital. I'll give you it all." But he didn't believe me. So he changed his mind and took me to a big tourist hotel. He said, "I'll drop you here. I'm not going to take you." I pleaded with him to take me, but he leaned over, undid my safety belt, and opened the door. "Get out," he demanded, but I couldn't get out. I could barely move. So he had to push me out. My legs caught on the door sill, so he lifted them up and thrust them out, slammed the door, and drove off. I lay there and thought, this world stinks. I've seen death, hatred, and violence. This is hell. This place is hell on earth. This is a filthy, sick world we live in. I lay there in utter hopelessness. I thought, what's the point of even trying to get to the hospital? If your number's up, let it go. Just die. Then my grandfather came to mind. He went through the First and Second World Wars. He'd been to Gallipoli and had fought in Egypt against Rommel. I remembered this and thought how he had survived 2 world wars. And here was his grandson giving up because 5 miserable jellyfish had stung him. The thought of him revived my courage, and I resolved not to die without doing whatever I could to get help. Using my one remaining working arm, I tried to drag myself towards the hotel entrance. I could see some lights on. To my amazement, the security guards were doing the rounds, and their flashlights spotted me groveling along in the dirt. A man came running over. I looked up and recognized him to be one of my drinking friends. He was a black guy called Daniel, a big, lovable man. He came running up to me and asked, "What's wrong with you? Are you drunk? Are you stoned? What's wrong with you?" I pulled up my sweatshirt to show him my arm, and he could see all the blisters and the swollenness. He scooped me up in his arms and ran. Thanks for listening today. Please stay with me as I take you through that journey, one that's shaped my life and purpose ever since. See you tomorrow.